The British National Archives has just released a pretty chilling throwback to the Cold War fears then in the early 80s. Under UK law, government papers must be made public 30 years after their creation. And these latest documents include a speech prepared for the Queen to be read on the eve of an all-out nuclear conflict. Dominic Velitis joins us from London with the details and interesting insight into what goes on behind the scenes. Dominic, tell us about this speech.
Well, as one newspaper put it here today, Jennifer, it's the Queen's speech that no one wanted to hear, a chilling address to the nation in the event of a nuclear war. As you say, released today under the 30-year rule. It actually formed part of something called Wintex Simex 83, a NATO war game held in 1983, designed to test the West's response to a Soviet attack. Although never recorded, and I'm paraphrasing here, the Queen was to say how the madness of war is once again spreading through the world, adding that the dangers are greater by far than at any time in our long history. The enemy in World War III, this speech goes on to say, is not the soldier with his rifle or the airman prowling the skies above our cities, but the deadly power of abused technology. A reference there, of course, to weapons of mass destruction. The speech would also have had the Queen referencing the previous two world wars, saying that the qualities that have helped keep our freedom intact twice before in this sad century will once more be our strength. So, although it's not real in the sense that it was part of a NATO war game, it does give you an idea of what may have been said at the time if the bombs started falling. And in that sense, it is pretty spooky stuff, Jennifer.
It is. And that speech certainly isn't the only revelation. What other goodies are being unearthed?
Yeah, that's right. Other documents released today from 1983, and some pretty bizarre stuff, to be frank. One shows how the UK sent some kind of laser weapon designed to dazzle Argentine pilots during the Falklands War. Another shows how government officials who were waiting for the Thames Barrier to be built actually considered deliberately flooding the counties of Essex and Kent to prevent London from being swamped in the event of a tidal surge. Documents, too, which show how the then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher wanted the army to step in the eventuality of another miners' strike to move coal around the country. And my personal favourite, Jennifer, and sticking with Margaret Thatcher, papers were also released today showing how the former PM blocked a 21-year-old William Hague, who is now the Foreign Secretary, of course, from a job as a Treasury advisor. Apparently, it would have been an embarrassing gimmick. William Hague, incidentally, has said through his spokesperson this morning that it was probably the right decision at the time, and he's quite keen to remind the world that Margaret Thatcher did, in fact, go on to back him in his leadership bid for the Tory party. So all's well that ends well.
Thanks, Dominic. Dominic Velitis in London.